Inside here, the old cheese factory are two of the ultimate sleepers, for me anyway, ultimate sleepers. And the crew responsible for one of the greatest rescues in automotive history. Just got to find a way, and there's a piece of one there.
Hang on a minute. How did millions of dollars of hypercar hardware end up in a barn in a small village in the north of England? Well, it started in the 80s when we had big dumb phones and no internet. Well, I didn't. I was just 10. But what we did have was an economic boom and big money, yo! But cars like the F40 and the 959, they were just chump change for these yuppies at a measly couple $100,000 a pop. No. What the world needed was something stupidly fast and stupidly expensive, like a 220-mile-an-hour hypercar costing a whopping $500,000. Jaguar launched it at the British Motor Show in 1988. It sold out in minutes. 1,500 orders for a planned run of just 350 cars. Celebrities flocked to the car faster than tears at an Oscar ceremony. Sir Elton John, Rod Stewart, the Sultan of Brunei, Mike Tyson. It was a feeding frenzy, with buyers actually throwing physical cash at the dealers to get their name on the list. The car was every bit as insane as Tom Walkinshaw's Le Mans winning racing team could make it. It was a racing car for the road, wishbones, monocoque chassis, and a converted Group B rally engine. There was just one problem: Black Monday, the single biggest day percentage drop in stock market history. The aftermath was a toxic combination of restricted bank policies, an oil shock, you know about those, and a collapse in the debt fuel property market. Pure panic. There was a fire sale on exotic hypercars. Bugatti, with their EB110, went to the wall in 1995. TWR finished their production run at just 275 XJ220 cars. But Jaguar needed to get rid of what quickly became a loss-making project. When everyone ran for the exit, one man saw the opportunity: Don Law. Over time, he bought the lot. The cars, the jigs, the moulds, the drawings, the technical documents, the engine dyno reports, the engines, the chassis, the spares, everything. He's been preserving the legacy and serving these cars ever since. But if you want to know how they really drive, you talk to Justin. Nobody has done more miles in one than he has.
Here we are. This is XJ220 heaven. Engines, prototypes, stuff I don't even know what they are. I'm going to find Justin Law, who's going to talk us around this and some of the really cool projects he's working on. He's going to be here somewhere, looking gritty. Before I took the plunge on buying an XJ220, I wanted to make sure that the car had a good title and a clean history, because looking beautiful just isn't enough. So I used carVertical to peel back the skin and have a look at the car's past. And it's always worth doing that when you're buying a car. Here's one of my all-time favourite cars, the Ferrari 458. A beautiful colour, but bodywork alone doesn't tell you the full story, because it can be misleading and it's easy to patch things over and make them look glossy from the outside. It's got 2 damage reports, even an estimate that shows that it was 80 to 90,000 euros to fix it. There's also, crucially, the photos. The photos really do tell the story, and you can see the level of impact this car's had. There's some quite heavy impact has gone on this car, and you can actually see the brake disc has cracked, which means the impact energy has gone right in there, probably up to the chassis. Chassis is a very hard thing to get right. Some of the electrics are dangling out. We all know about electrical gremlins, don't we, Matt Armstrong? Very hard to get right. So this probably is a car to avoid. Shows it's been imported as well. You want to double check that the legal title is what it should be. When a car's moved country, sometimes there's discrepancies between territories. So all in all, that could be one to avoid. Don't make the same mistake. Use carVertical to buy safe when you buy a car. Use my discount code BCD to get 20% off. Click on the link in the description below and buy good cars. Justin, how you doing?
Very good, thank you.
Great to see you. This is just what you didn't need, is someone with like me poking a camera around.
Absolutely.
On a busy day in the office. I've been up here before. I've never seen this look so busy. Is this probably like the peak time for your year prepping?
It's pretty normal day at work for us, really. We're always busy. There's always cars all over the place in various states of repair.
This one in particular. So this is like back to its bare bones, but you've got everything from bare chassis all the way up to some finished stuff and some special projects, which I think you hinted at was this one.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
Can you
this
talk me
one's,
through? I know you got your ground
this
zero.
one's
What's happening here?
This one's having a major chassis repair from accident damage. This one's very much on the back burner at the moment with everything else we have on. This one is being built into a resto mod type car, if you like. All Le Mans panels from all the original mold tooling, so it's a bit lighter. It'll have a few more horses in the engine as well.
So you're taking the car that was the fastest production car ever made, and you're making it faster.
Yeah.
That's what you love doing, isn't it? Can you just tell us a bit about you? Because I know you quite well, but for people who don't, you're a bit of a hot foot in everything you've driven. You've done a lot of Group C racing. You've specialised in Jaguar all your life. You've been working on these since what age were you when you started with this?
Well, I was 9 years old when the business started, and I was full-time in the business when I was 15.
So there's not much you don't know about a 220.
Not much at all, really.
So I'm keen to learn more, having now acquired a 220, which is like a boyhood dream come true. Being in here is like sort of being in Disney World. But to see something like this is all of your knowledge kind of coming together in, I guess, one machine, isn't it?
Yeah, so this one's just, we did build the LM, which is over at the back of the workshop a few years ago. That one is a full sort of race spec car, and it's probably a bit too much for the road, whereas this one is going to be everything you want, so slightly better damping, slightly stiffer springs but not too far, regular brake upgrade, a bit more power in the engine. It'll have bucket seats and a nice interesting trim job, some funky colour. We've not quite decided on the colour yet, but ultimately this car will be sold, so if we find a buyer in the meantime. The car's getting completely built in primer, as you see, and tested, and then the last thing to do will be paint and trim.
Yeah.
So if we find a buyer in the meantime, they can have it whatever colour they like.
Can you tell us a story of how you guys came to get hold of all this stuff in the first place? Because to put something like this together, you need spares, you need the knowledge, technical drawings, engines, all of that stuff. How did you acquire all of the material you would need to make something like this?
Well, it started off when we were racing cars. So we were involved with TWR since the 80s. They were building engines for race cars that we were building. And then in the late 90s, we started getting into 220s, and we were racing a car. And the specific thing was we blew a head gasket at a race, and we rang Jaguar and asked if they got any head gaskets, and they said no, they're on back order. We said, well, when can we have them? And they said there's no date. So we just went and made head gaskets to get our car out for the next race. That was probably the first part that we manufactured ourselves, and then actually Jaguar asked us if they could buy some to supply to their customers. So we sort of had the connection with Jaguar then. They knew what we were doing. We were out there. We were servicing cars. No one else was really. There were a few sort of flagship Jaguar dealers that were trained with basic service training for the cars. But you know, most of the cars didn't get used back then. So they sort of didn't really see many cars, and then, you know, I guess the people who were trained were long gone, and so we just started servicing cars. The word got out there that we were racing cars and doing well, and that's kind of where it started.
What are these things like on track? You've raced them, you know them intimately. What's the vibe?
They are a big car, and they're not particularly light as a race car. You know, these were built as a supercar for the road, but they're a great thing. I mean, the power, the torque that these little engines give is just pretty amazing, really. So
that's one of the big myths which I'd like to bust, is the engine chat. So famously, back in the day, you know, when this car came out, straight into a financial crisis. So at first, you know, people couldn't get their hands on them fast enough. People were throwing deposits. I think 1,500 deposits in the space of an hour at the launch at British Car Show. Down to an order of, I mean, it's actually debatable how many cars were made. You've got a number. How many were made back in the day?
Well, it's around 280, without going into the fine details of, there were 10 or 12 prototypes. So you can add that onto the production figure. So, you know, I got around 300 when I started counting.
Right.
So,
Somewhere between
Somewhere-
280 and 300.
Yeah.
And the engine story, because originally they were going to fit a V12, they've been racing that at Le Mans, but then they were developing the V6 twin turbo, and that's what went into the back of this car. What's your view on the engine?
Amazing. I mean, the IMSA engine, they were running over 1,000 horsepower in qualifying trim. And it's a very similar engine in the 220. It's completely, everything is made from moulds, different castings, so everything on a 220 engine is not the same as an IMSA one. They were built as a really strong production engine for a supercar.
And then perfect to go racing with, presumably, because you can turn the wick up, you can use, it's a drivable car for the road.
Yeah, I mean, there's such a strong design. Engine-wise, you know, you can stick bigger turbos on, you can put Motec management and remap them, and you can get some decent horsepower. I mean, they're an amazing car if they are in good order.
Yeah.
The main thing that has come on so much is the brakes. You know, the old DS11 Ferodo pad material that you used to get that felt like there was a piece of wood in the you know, in between the caliper and the disc. Just the pad material alone that was available back in the early 90s that would stop a car from 220 miles an hour was a lot different to one that you can buy today.
Yeah.
So we fit twin servos, which also just helps you press the brake a little bit. It just makes the drive a lot nicer.
And then famously, the ECU on these was quite basic, wasn't it? It's got like a two-tone idle, which it does while it's finding its temperatures.
It's
in standard form.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the idle control valve trying to work out what's going on and get the idle speed where it wants. But the ECU runs Microsoft DOS, which is, you know, the old computer games when I was a kid that
floppy drive almost.
That sort of take half an hour to wake up. So that's the kind of you know, that's how clever the ECU is. And again, with modern ECUs, they just work a bit faster.
Yeah. Is it Motec you're working with now to do the control systems?
Yeah, we fit
Motec
Motec to quite a lot of cars now. It runs very slightly sweeter. It's not a massive difference, but it's tunable. You can do whatever you want, and if the car's in Timbuktu, we can go on TeamViewer with someone with a laptop, and we can see what's going on. There's a lot of cars that are daily used.
Yeah.
I think the issue with the values always being low stems right back to the initial issue when the cars were sold, and it was just bad timing. You know, the economy crashed, and lots of people who put the big deposits down for the cars couldn't really afford to pay the rest of the bills. So,
all right. So back to this one, the sleeper mobile. So again, with that knowledge, what are the major upgrades that you're planning for this, and what's this going to be capable of doing at the end? If you don't, can we start with the engine, because that's it's such a tunable lump. So it's 500-ish horsepower standard.
yeah.
What's going to be in the back of this?
So this particular car has a brand new dynoed standard engine with it. So that will be stripped, and we'll do a few modifications inside it.
So brand new engine from the 90s, never used.
It's a boxed, crated, brand new engine, as is the chassis. The chassis is a brand new chassis that was never finished.
So a 0 miler.
0 miles, built in 2026 or 7 maybe.
When you finish, when I get out of here. Yeah.
So we will remap it. We'll put Motec management on. It will be remapped. It will have bigger turbos, a few little tweaks in the engine, not too much. They're a strong engine anyway. And then it should give about 650 horsepower, which the main thing it increases is torque. And these are a really torquey engine anyway, but with more torque, it just makes the thing so lovely to drive.
I've yet to do big speeds in one of these. You have done it.
Yeah.
What do they feel like?
These are a little bit, I mean, 180 miles an hour, they do move around a bit. But an F40 does it at about 140, 150 miles an hour, feels very pointy.
Yeah.
Or my experience of one certainly was that. These feel a little bit more
planted.
More planted.
So, all right, this looks, what is this? Because this looks like a racing car.
So this car we built from, it was actually the Myra crash test car.
Okay, so it's got some history.
So the history was it was run into a wall at 30 miles an hour.
Yeah. Is that all they had to do for the crash test to pass it?
Yeah.
Then they do 220.
And it had 10 tons, I think, of weight put on the top of it.
Right.
We've repaired cars that were much worse than this was. There was the main damage with this was from sitting as a bare shell outside the back of Jag for years, and some delamination here and there. But the accident damage was nothing.
Yeah.
They have a really good crush structure at the front of the car that legs that come forward that concertina, and in a head-on crash they're really strong. So it passed the test with flying colours. Fixed all of that. We fitted the Le Mans panels. They're all carbon composite, including the doors, which the S's normally the doors stay aluminium. And then we just we did a nice trim job with Alcantara dash, which is a bit more sporty. We did all the engine in black ceramic coat, which just looks a bit more sporty again. This one has lots of upgrades beyond an S.
Yeah. Okay.
This is pretty much a full race car for the road.
What's in the back?
So this is an engine that we put together, which is running just shy of 800 horsepower on race fuel.
Yeah.
There's a switch on the dash which turns it down to about 700 horsepower, and it runs on.
And when it's raining like this, you might just dampen it back a bit.
Well, mainly for pump fuel.
Okay.
You need proper race fuel to run the big numbers.
I never doubted your right foot for a second. maybe some short shifting. Okay, wow, so that's a lot of power. Just couldn't help but notice in the background these what look like brand new chassis. So where are they from?
So they're original flat pack chassis, which came with all of the parts that we bought all those years ago. We just assembled them loosely and put them on frames. We intend to do something with them at some point.
So this one, when it gets running, will you take this to a track at some point? And well, you've said you've had it out before, but I mean, once you've got it registered and it's mobile, you know, can we have a go in it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, there we go. It's on record. That is beautiful. So, I mean, this looks like it's had some history, some life. It's all original. What's the crack with this one?
So this was built, I think, in about '95. Like I was saying before, there were a few Fastmasters cars. That was the make race series that was in the States, and they had damaged panels. The 220 S's were derived from that, really. They were stored in a building where all the Le Mans spare panels were, and obviously someone at some point thought, why don't we marry those panels with that chassis and make what became the S.
How many of these are there? Because they're pretty rare, aren't there?
There was 5 made originally.
And inside, it looks more racy as well. We've got like the bucket seats, and there's a bit going on in there, isn't there? Is there any particular features you like about it?
Well, they just had a bucket seat, again, a bit lighter, a bit more racy, full harnesses as opposed to a standard seatbelt. Yeah. And then an Alcantara or suede steering wheel.
Yeah. Seats are really cool, aren't they?
Yeah, they're quite cool things.
Really retro, slightly sci-fi. So I've seen a lot of the original wheels, which I think they're beautiful design. They're sort of unique to 220, which they're pretty timeless, but the rubber on them is not. I know that's something that you developed as well, didn't you? So you had to, like, no one was making a tyre that would fit this car. Yeah. How did you fix that?
Yeah, so we couldn't buy tyres. There weren't any from the original stock, even if there were actually a few tyres left, but they were just getting too old. So we went to Bridgestone and said, could you remake us some tyres? And they said, well, they're not homologated anymore because it's mainly to do with road drive-by noise. So we set about making a new tyre with Bridgestone for the car, because we had several clients calling asking for tyres, and you know, with a car parked in the garage that wouldn't pass its MOT because they were bald. Yep. and you know, the car was not usable. We had 2 cars in Italy for a couple of months being tested by Bridgestone's drivers, and then I would go periodically over and join the drivers and test them as well. we started with Mark 1 tyre, if you like, and I drove that around the wet handling track, and it was very, very good. We then made some tweaks to the shoulder of the tyre. We moved on to that one and drove the same tyre, and it's 3 seconds a lap quicker around the wet track.
That's doubly impressive when you think about how fast the 220 already was before it got better tyres. There still aren't many cars that can handle more than 1 or 2 consecutive laps of the Nürburgring before they start overheating or something starts to give way, especially at the high performance end. Jaguar took the XJ220 there for 2 weeks and ran durability testing with Bridgestone for lap after lap after lap, proving not just the outright performance of the machine, but also its durability.
This car was, at its time, it was fast. It was one of the fastest cars in the world, nearly. It still is very fast, don't get that wrong, because with new tires, it can probably be as quick as some of the most modern cars, even though it's 25 years old.
Let's be serious, this is a road car, street legal. It does well over 200 miles an hour, it has fantastic handling, its brakes are superb, and it's a very safe vehicle. Had you not driven a race car, you would think this car is the most unbelievable vehicle in the world.
We're 25 years on and things have moved on a lot since then, but yes, for me, when I jumped in this car back in the day, I couldn't believe how fast it was. It was absolutely out of this world. The Nürburgring really is a unique place, which is why so many manufacturers use it. And it's not easy to have every single corner on the Nürburgring perfect with a car, because there's every kind of corner you can imagine, even the carousel and the mini carousel, and you've got the straight lines and you've got the camber changes. And so in order to get a fast lap time, the driver has to feel at one with the car, and therefore the car has to talk to the driver and has to really allow the driver to feel what's happening on all 4 corners. There's places on the circuit where if you make a mistake, you need another car.
When Jaguar started playing with the idea, what about setting a lap record for a production car? That was not a norm then. Now the whole industry does it, but nobody had done it before.
John set a lap record around the ring that was 30 seconds faster than anything had ever lapped it before, a record that remained unbeaten for 8 years.
So there's 2 unicorns in here that I'm really keen to see, just to look at them. One is the race car, the one that's from the campaign where they won Le Mans, at least temporarily. And the other one should sound like that van, but doesn't. Can we go and have a look at that one?
Yes, we can.
All right, come on then. Show me the goods. There she is, the mean green machine. Right, what is this? So I look at that, I know it's an infamous campaign at Le Mans where they won the race, and afterwards the ACO said, well, there was a form that was missing, which they knew about before the race began. But they won Le Mans, and this was the spec they won it in.
I was there in the pits with the team, and I saw it win Le Mans, so that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Whatever was done afterwards on paper, for me, is irrelevant. They were just an amazing. I mean, the build quality that TWR guys did with these cars is just immense. All the suspension's completely different. They have larger magnesium uprights with bigger bearings to take the prolonged high speed running, and to save weight. Longer wishbones for better geometry. Titanium bushings everywhere to save weight.
So every little thing was just right.
It was such a, all the panels are removable so you can access everything. The pipe work, the radiator pipe work goes down the sills rather than through the car to keep the car cooler inside and to keep the water cooler as well.
So there was, what was it, 4 chassis, 4 or 5 they had to support the team?
There were 3 cars built, and this car was the 4th chassis that never was assembled. We assembled this one about 8 years ago.
So it was the spare, basically. It has an unbuilt spare.
Yeah, so the car came as a rolling chassis with lots of Le Mans bits with it. All the panels have been round Le Mans. They were all marked panels from the spares, so probably from various of the 3 cars. And then the engine that was with it was a Le Mans engine. You can tell because all the sensors are different. They're quite sort of different to a standard car. And we actually had a file which we came from TWR Engines years ago. That was the strip document for the Le Mans winning car, and they basically did a massive report on that one engine, and it had all the engine numbers in there. And when we looked at the engine that came with this car, it was the one that won Le Mans.
Get in.
So it was quite a nice find.
That was lucky.
So the car never raced in period.
Yeah, but it's got the Le Mans winning engine in the back.
And all the panels that have been around the circuits.
Fantastic. And is this that's the original marker for the class, the little light on the top? Obviously radio telemetry, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think they just had a different colour on each car so they could tell which one was which.
Yeah. What is it for you that, you obviously love these. I mean, it's not just because you've worked on them since you were a kid. Yeah. What's your favourite thing about 220?
Well, it was a poster on my bedroom wall when I was a kid. So, you know, it was always, we were a Jaguar specialist, and back in the day we were restoring E-types and Mark IIs. Then we got into the racing and we were running C-types and D-types and listers and all kinds of things. But, you know, as a Jaguar specialist, it didn't get much better than a 220 for me. This is one for the car that I showed you in there, the green car. This has just been fully recommissioned. So cylinder heads off, all the gaskets replaced, a decoke, all the injectors cleaned, and bores checked, pistons checked.
So this one looks brand new. So this was like super low mileage, but had been sat still for a long time.
Yeah.
So you everything out, look inside and look for any issues.
A freshen up, which is fairly standard. I mean, they can leak from the oil gallery on the head gaskets. So we change the head gaskets regularly. All the rubber, you name it.
So Justin's got the logbooks to every 220 that was made. They're all in here. He's just gone to have a look, check my VIN number against the engine log, see if you can find it. This hopefully is when he doesn't come back down the stairs and says your one isn't real. He's going to come back hopefully with some information. And then one of these files with all the history of the original build of my car will be in there, which is pretty cool.
Your eye's better than mine.
Sure. Well, let's find out.
I need 10045.
Well, on engine number?
Yeah.
10045. 45 SB?
Yeah, 10045. So 247.
That's me there, is it?
Yeah.
Cool. This is your life.
So this is the original build manual for your engine.
That's brilliant.
As we saw
1992. It shows you the name of the builder. He signed it.
And everything for the engine is in here.
In front it said engine slightly better than any engine we've tested so far.
It's quite a thick file this is, so usually you find some extras.
Great.
Blown up on the dyno.
Good. This is like getting a checkup with the doctor.
So literally everything is in here.
Yeah.
All the sizes, all the clearances, notes from what happened when the car was dynoed.
Yeah.
These are all the part number sheets of all the bits that were picked for it.
A lot of work, isn't it? If you were trying to build one of these from scratch now, how much would it cost to make it? If you were to put all of it, all the labour that's gone into it, because they're not the easiest things to build.
No, everything's bespoke. You know, people joke about the Ford vents in the dash and the Citroen mirrors, but that is literally it. There's a handful of parts that were picked from other cars. Everything else is custom made.
Right.
So it would cost a lot more than what you could buy a car for to try to build them. There you go. There's your dyno sheet.
Curve. How cool is that? Brilliant. Can I take a photo?
Yeah.
She looks strong. Old 247. Brilliant.
That's it. And over here we have the original drawings.
Oh wow.
So there's a full engine drawing.
Geez, it's not like some small print, is it? So what is this? Every component of the engine?
Everything.
In full size. so that you can build from that, basically.
So if we need we need to make rod bolts, we just find the drawing.
You dip in here. It's like the Dead Sea Scrolls of 220.
All the information, all the materials,
Yeah.
the whole lot.
They're beautiful as well, aren't they? You'd almost,
They're a beautiful
you'd almost want
thing.
them on the wall.
Yeah, you could backlight them and frame them. They look wonderful.
They're fantastic.
So very useful information.
Dare I say, is this the original TWR cabinet as well?
Yeah.
It's all vintage. But I think that's stunning. So it goes down to the tiniest component. It's all in there.
Everything in the engine.
Mega. These, are they from something else, or are those chassis?
We actually have all the Group C drawings as well.
All right, so there's one more car or machine I'd like to look at with you, which I think is outside.
It might be.
Come on, take me to the unicorn. This is awesome. What the hell is this?
So this is our XJ220 Transit van.
Yeah, it's a super van. I love it. So the wheels I recognise, but what? Okay, so it's got 220 wheels. What else has it got?
So it has basically the engine and running gear in the back.
Is that what's in
engine,
here?
Transmission.
Come on. So is it right?
Yeah.
So it feels like a transit van.
So it's actually
Same seats.
underneath the seat unit.
That's awesome, isn't it?
There she
Oh
is.
my God, look at that. That's awesome. So this has got a roll cage.
Well, when we bought the van was built by TWR in the early days of development with the engine to do durability, round town, running. When we got the van, there were extra sensors everywhere, in all the water jackets everywhere, and in all the boost control. So they were just monitoring how the car handled round town and how it drove. And obviously, no one really knew what it was.
Yeah.
It was just in plain clothes.
This has got to be the ultimate sleeper. This thing is just insane. I love it. What's this here for? That looks almost like a part of a fuel tank or something. What is that? Just cowling.
There's a fire extinguisher under there.
Okay, which hopefully you won't need. Speaking of heat though, I mean, doesn't this seat get a bit hot?
It does. It's ideal in the winter
Yeah.
for passengers.
Heated seats. That's too funny. So they've got, what, can you just talk me through, because this is I mean, from the outside it's quite well disguised apart from the wheels, but then there's some funny gauges, so give things away a bit, don't they?
So there's extra fuel gauges, boost gauges, oil temperature.
All right, so you got your obvious gauges, and that looks a bit funky. This is serious, isn't it? Some sort of like a race tacho. So it is, because it is the overlap of Ford buying Jaguar, isn't it? It's around that time.
So yeah, I mean at the time, apparently this van was a Benetton Formula One van.
Right. So it had previous history before it became a 220.
So it was just a van that was obviously Benetton, TWR and Ford were all connected at the time. The van is actually a prototype van. So it's interesting just as a transit.
Yeah.
And then obviously it was converted and had the engine fitted by TWR.
So if you've got a transit fetish, this is the car to have. I mean, this is the #1 daddy.
It's pretty cool.
What can you see from behind? Behind the back doors there. Is there any is there storage space?
There is.
So it's quite compact. I guess though, because the engine's quite small anyway. Relatively small. It's in there.
Yeah, I
isn't
mean
it?
there's a lot of space in there.
Does it make a good noise?
It makes a 220 sounding noise.
Come on, can we fire it up?
Let's do it.
It's quite dulcet tones of 220, to be fair, but there's a beefy tone to a 220 engine, isn't there? It's actually very similar to this, if not identical to the standard car.
Well, it's the same engine.
It is the same.
Yeah.
So and same muffler, the whole thing.
Yeah.
For driving around, she's a bit smoky.
Yeah.
That's pride and joy, surely. You've got to love this. What's
It is
the
cool.
insurance like on that?
No idea.
Someone else pays it for you. I like his style. A bit like, royalty. Doesn't carry a wallet, doesn't pay his insurance, someone else does. That's quite practical. You could stick a load of stuff in that. I love the fact it's strengthened. Have you taken this on a lap?
Well, one year we were 10th overall quickest at the Goodwood Festival of Speed.
In this?
Day one we were 4th quickest.
Mega. What's the top speed on it?
apparently 171 miles an hour.
Okay.
Who
was
apparently
driving
that
that?
was done at Millbrook a long time ago, prior to our ownership.
That's pretty good. I mean, given the aerodynamics of the Transit aren't known to be that good,
It's a house brick.
it's punching through a lot of air. I'm surprised it goes that quick. That's impressive. Can I have a little look at the driver's seat?
Yeah.
Quite a stiff pedal, hasn't it? Transit-like. So the brakes from a 220 as well.
So this has our XJ220 servo upgrade,
Yeah.
upgraded brakes.
I mean, how much is something like this worth?
Who knows?
You can't put a number on it, can you? It's one of one.
It's a one-off.
Special prototype, a TWR prototype sleeper. I think it's really cool. I love what I've seen in there, but I'm touched by this one. I think it's just really special. Does the stereo work?
Absolutely.
Lovely. So you've got, and all the fuse boxes, so presumably everything on there is also mirrored from the road car. We've got here isolation switches. Are there any other, like, any rockets or anything, or machine guns?
Not that I know of.
It's tempting to fit some. You could definitely put an oil slick and a smoke screen in the back of it. I think you should. That's awesome. Right, look, is there any way you could get this going on a loader up? Maybe you could tow your blue crazy car. Can we see how fast they are around the Top Gear track? Maybe compare your Beast 220 to a standard car.
I'm sure we can do that at some point.
Sure you can do it? All right, let's do that then. I'm shaking on that.